Welcome to Resilience. We're so happy you decided to spend some time with us this evening. My name is Billy Lemon. I have the good fortune to serve as the Executive Director of the Castro Country Club. And before I begin my brief remarks, I'd like to thank the team of people that allow me the opportunity to serve this community. To the 15-member advisory board, and in particular, the chair, Matt Walding, thank you. To Brandon Stanton, the manager of all things CCC, and the person whose disposition and work ethic I emulate and admire, thank you. And to the countless volunteers who give their time and support to the club, we thank you most. The last 6 months have been challenging for sure. If there's anything to be taken positively, it's that the recovery community that supports the Castro Country Club is resilient, hence the name. Over the years, our success has been built on many things. As many organizations seem to be struggling financially, part of our position, our security, is thanks to you. Whether it was purchases at the cafe, dollars at mascara that you threw at Minnie, meeting room rentals, your monthly recurring donations for coffee, supporting somebody on our AIDS Walk team, or maybe art purchases in the cafe. Every time you've contributed, you help secure the future of the club. As a direct result of your generosity and kindness, we've managed to survive and thrive. So what does it mean for the short term? What does it mean for the future? It all comes back to our mission. The mission is to provide a clean and sober gathering place for all people and a home for the queer recovery community. We endeavor to be a space where all can seek wisdom, serenity, courage, and joy. As we continue to reassess the opening of the club, we hope you'll consider getting involved. We continue to build out opportunity with our relationship with PRC. Workforce development now has 2 tracks to help people prepare for a somewhat uncertain future. We'll continue to provide entertainment and social activities, all that are inclusive and supportive. And we'll continue to foster relationships that create better equity for everyone. Most of all, when the time is right, we'll re-engage safely with in-person meetings. Now, this is the way the program is going to play out. We hope that you had the opportunity over the last week to bid on some of the fantastic auction items we had up for auction. Please stay with us through the entire live stream tonight. We have a very important message that we want you to hear. The auction is going to stay open till at least 9 p.m. So after the live stream, if you want to go back and check on some of those fantastic things, go ahead and do it then. My job as an executive director is a fundraiser. This is a fundraiser, and there's going to be a lot of fun to be had over the course of the evening. There are several ways for you to impact the future of the club. This is the night to do that. We've set an ambitious goal that you can see below me in the thermometer. Help us make sure the CCC stays relevant and resilient. I encourage everyone this evening to take a moment and remember somebody that was impacted by the work we do at the Castro Country Club, whether it be a friend or a family member. And there's going to be a point this evening where you're going to be asked to dig deep. Please make that gift a statement about the power of recovery changing people's lives. Because that's what we do every day. 365 days a year when we're not in a pandemic, we change people's lives. Help us do that. So, without further ado, we're so lucky to have this person host this event for us this evening. A local legend and uber talented entertainer. Take it away, Peaches Christ.
Thank you so much, Billy, for that marvelous introduction. Distinguished guests, welcome to the Castro Country Club gala event, Resilience. Now, this year, as you know, is a bit special. 2020's been quite the doozy. So we are now moving this event online, as you know, instead of being in person. And I'm going to do my best to act as if you're right here in front of me. You're in the same room with me. We're actually, sharing this moment, breathing the same air, And I'm thrilled that I was asked to be the hostess for tonight's event. It means the world to me. As you may know, I'm Peaches Christ, and I've been a performer in San Francisco for a long, long time. She started when she was very young, for all of you confused people checking out the youthful-like appearance. Now, that being said, I was asked as part of this introduction to speak a little about myself. So before I launch into a bit of a self-indulgent, intro where I talk about myself, I needed you to know that this is not my choice. I was asked by the powers that be to speak a little bit personally to you, the audience. And so what I'm going to do is share something I don't really share very often as Peaches because, well, it's, breaking a tradition. But because I'm not in public per se, and I'm appearing before my sober queer family, I feel comfortable letting you all know that I've been an active and, for better or worse, a member of Alcoholics Anonymous for quite some time now. And, the Castro Country Club means the world to me. I know it means a lot to so many of us. And, I got sober in the Castro. I'd actually moved to the Castro back when I was really struggling with my drinking. Now, that could have gone all sorts of directions, as you can imagine. But back in 2002, I moved into the gayest apartment in the world. Now, you might be asking yourself, how does she know she moved into the gayest apartment in the world? Well, I'm pretty sure I can convince you. This is the apartment that's, located above the bar Twin Peaks. And next to that, and we had another bedroom above Hot Cookie. Our bathroom shared an air shaft with Hot Cookie and Orphan Andy's. So it was genius because, I lived with roommates. You could take a shit and it still smelled like cookies, honey. Nobody knew. This is, by far, my bedroom window looked out at that giant rainbow flag, flying across the street. So don't argue with me. It was the gayest apartment in the world. And as you may know, the temptations were all around me. So I'd already been struggling with my drinking. I was a drunk-ass drag queen. I was already doing shows. I was performing every week pretty much at the Stud with, Heclina on Tuesday nights. And I had created an event called Midnight Mass, which had been successful over at the Bridge Theater. So, getting sober in 2002, partly it was because I was really, falling apart. And, had decided it was a good idea to move to the Castro, where in the first week or two, I think I basically averaged a blackout every night. Also, I went broke, and I was a total train wreck. So, here's the thing. Yeah, it was maybe a bad idea, but what it did was it led me straight to the bottom. And what I found was there were a few sober drag queens around me who I could ask for help. Thank Goddess for Putanesca, who I called, and she took me to my first meeting. It was over on Market Street at a place called New Leaf, which is now, I think, like a gym or something. I'm not sure. Maybe it's ironically, I think it might be a cannabis dispensary now. Anyway, I went to my meeting there. I connected with you all right away. I knew it's where I needed to be. And what I found was living in this gay apartment, surrounded by bars and drinkers and drunks, was actually exactly what I needed. Because down the street, there was this sober queer hangout called the Castro Country Club. Not to mention, meetings all over the neighborhood, at churches, above the Bank of America, at the Castro Country Club. Like, if you want to be sober and you are living in the Castro or even are near the Castro, that should be on your gratitude list, because, this neighborhood is a great place to be sober, to get sober. The other part about it that really worked for me was I didn't have to wonder what it was like, to be blacked out, or to, I could see it every night. I could see what I looked like in the eyes of sober people, because the drunks, well, they were all around. So I can't thank the people who have kept the Castro Country Club alive for all these years, for people like myself who were queer and needed to feel a sense of community and have a connection with other queer sober people outside of meetings, that to create a place that was an alternative to the bar scene. It is really my favorite place in the Castro. It means so much to me. I feel like I have a spiritual connection with that space because of all of the incredible experiences and meetups and meetings and, social gatherings I've gotten to enjoy there, including even drag shows. I mean, who would have thought I'd get sober and I could go to drag shows in a sober community space with sober drag queens? I mean, let me tell you, this doesn't happen everywhere in the world. San Francisco is special. The sober community here, we should be grateful for how vast and large it is and diverse and incredible. And the Castro Country Club is at the center of this incredible thing that's happening here. So it really brings me so much pleasure to have been asked to be your hostess tonight at this gala event. I know I've gone on and on and on, but again, I was asked to fill 6 to 8 minutes. I've barely done that, okay? So please don't get upset with me. I'm not a stage hog. I'm not a Zoom hog, or whatever you want to call me. I was asked to share, and I don't feel very comfortable doing it, clearly. But I do feel comfortable and flattered to be here tonight with you, and I'm really excited for this evening's festivities. So, without further ado, distinguished guests, let's get this show started, shall we?
Wow. When we first reached out to Peaches and asked them to host the event, that was not the opening monologue that I thought I was going to get, but that was fantastic. Oh my gosh, and so vulnerable. Thank you, Peaches. That was amazing. So I'm going to take this opportunity to give out an award. So when I first took this position as executive director, there were folks that took me aside and said, hey, the best way to do this job is to look for people that are doing the job that you want to do and emulate them. It's the same thing we learn in recovery. Dan Cusick, the person who this award is named after, and who I believe actually still is in this building spiritually, was outstanding for his service to the community. He always was willing to help people. It's the job I try and do, and it's the person I try and emulate in the way I run the Castro Country Club. Anyway, shortly after I got my job, I was introduced to a politician here that was deciding to run for supervisor for District 8. His name is Raphael Mandelman. A couple things about Raphael. He shows up. He's kind. He's dedicated. And I think in the spirit of Dan Cusick, he leads with heart. He always answers my emails and is always available whenever we need something. And so it is with respect and admiration that I award the 2020 Dan Cusick Service Award to District 8 Supervisor Raphael Mandelman.
Aw, Thank you, Billy, and thank you, Castro Country Club. I love the Castro Country Club. It is one of the most important institutions in the Castro and in our San Francisco queer community. And so it is a tremendous honor for me to be receiving this award. And I will take any opportunity that I can get to celebrate the Country Club. I know your theme this evening is resilience, and I can think of no institution that emblematizes, that represents that value more than this one. I remember just over a decade ago when people were really worried that the Country Club might not even survive, that the building was going to get sold, and there was tremendous worry, and so many folks came together to stop that from happening, and here we are. Even in the midst of this pandemic, this crazy time, we know that our Country Club is safe and will be there for folks. And I know that the Castro may not always feel like the safest space for people in recovery, people who are on a path of sobriety, and it is so important to have that here. When I was elected just about 2 years ago, I knew that I really wanted to work on homelessness and mental health issues and substance use issues. They are clearly the issues of the day in San Francisco, even during the pandemic. And the Country Club has been such a great partner, not just because of the space that it provides for folks in the Castro, but in thinking about how to get folks off the street. We were very excited to partner with Billy and the Country Club around job readiness programming to help folks who are getting sober, have a way to earn a living and to support that sobriety and their recovery going forward. We are going to have a lot of work to do in this city over the next couple of years to come back from the devastation we've seen all around us. But I think that the Country Club is going to be a really important part of the Castro's recovery, the resilience of the Castro, and the resilience of our queer community. And I'm really excited to continue working with you, with this organization, to bring San Francisco back, to bring the Castro back, and to be that lifeline for so many folks who need one. So thanks everybody. It's an honor, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your program.
My name is Gavin. I've been coming to the Castro Country Club for 30 years, off and on. I come to the Castro Country Club for a lot of different reasons, actually. I think the main one for me is that there's a lot of people here that I love. And for me, seeing them is one of the bright spots of my life. Feels very much like family to me. Community is indispensable when it comes to recovery. There's no such thing as me being alone, trying to recover on my own. It literally takes a village. And for me, this is my village, the Castro Country Club.
My name is Jared Brown, and I have been coming to the Castro Country Club for 13 years. I come to the Castro Country Club for so many reasons. Obviously for meetings, but more than that, it's about making connections and building relationships. I'm not much of a phone person, so I'm not likely to make a lot of calls, but if I'm feeling lonely or if I'm feeling isolated, I can walk into the Castro Country Club and run into 5 or 6 people that I know and catch up with them, and just helps me know that there's always a place that I can go no matter how lonely I feel or how isolated I feel, where I'm gonna know someone and they're gonna know me, even if we don't know each other, because we have that common experience.
My name is Lauren Vega, and I've been coming to the Castro Country Club for about 7 years. There's a little story attached to what got me here initially. I knew about the country club, but I thought, in all honesty, I wouldn't fit in, that people wouldn't like me. It took 3 tries. I said, if there's nobody on the stairs, I'll go in. If there's people on the stairs, then I'm not going in. So the third time I came by, there was no one on the stairs. I came in, there wasn't very many people here, and there was a meeting. I came to the meeting. I announced myself as someone who's never been here before, and everyone was super welcoming. After the meeting, they talked to me. People had seen me around. I had about a year clean and sober at that time, and I was really welcomed. So after that, this pretty much became home for me.
My name is Louis Nathaniel Cullen III, yes, the third, named after both my grandfathers. And I've been coming to the Castro Country Club since March of 2009. I come to the Castro Country Club because my family's here. I come for the environment. I come for the energy. Sometimes it's a really safe place for me to be at times when I'm feeling a little squirrely. I come to the country club because I'm a creature of habit. I like my routine. I come in sometimes just to see the friendly faces, the people that I know, come to harass Billy and Brandon.
My name is Phil. I've been coming to the Castro Country Club for about 19 years. I come to the Castro Country Club for a few reasons. One of them is to nurture human connection to the people that I admire and respect and seek to emulate. I also come here to work on my recovery with my sponsor and my sponsees, and I come here to be of service.
My name is Rebecca Wiles, and I've been coming to the Castro Country Club for 3.5 years. There are so many reasons that I come to the Castro Country Club, and I feel like they have changed throughout my course of being sober. Originally, I came because I had nowhere else to go. And it's changed to be the center of my community, my personal life, and my friendships. And so I come here really to connect with people.
My name is Rick West, and I have been coming to the Castro Country Club since 1997. I come to the Castro Country Club for a variety of reasons, depending on where I'm at the time. Quite often it's just to socialize. There have been times I needed a safe place to be. I've come here for meetings, companionship, fellowship, and sometimes the coffee is really good.
Well, my name is Bobby, and I have been coming to the Castro Country Club a little over 3 years. I come to the Castro Country Club because it is a safe space for people like myself who are in recovery, but more than that, it's a community. And you know, it's kind of like Cheers without the booze. I mean, who doesn't want to go where everyone knows your name, you know?
My name is Calvin Curley. I have been a member of the Castro Country Club for about 6 years now. I come to the Castro Country Club to be of service and to inspire those who need inspiring, to show up for myself in my recovery, and to bring happiness to everyone.
My name is Dominic, and I've been coming to the Castro Country Club for almost 4 years now. I come to the Castro Country Club to meet with my sponsor, to meet with my sponsees, to be of service on Tuesday nights here at the Country Club with my friend George. I come here to hang out with people in the back on the patio, inside when we were able to, and also sit on the steps with other people and catcall all the cute people who walk by.
My name is Teresa Smith, and I've been coming to the Castro Country Club since 1987, and I am now 37 years sober, part of it due in part to the club. Well, I come to the Castro Country Club for a sense of community and for recovery meetings and an opportunity to be of service. Community means to me a sense of safety, camaraderie, and a shared vision.
My name is Franklin, and I've been coming to the Castro Country Club for 5.5 years. I visit the Castro Country Club first to attend the 12-step recovery meetings. I find it really amazing that the club offers such a range of recovery meetings for people that are struggling with food addiction to drug and alcoholism. I love the events that we have here, different holiday celebrations, celebrating each other's recovery and sobriety milestones. It's a place for fellowship, it's a place for sponsor-sponsee meetings. I have several reasons that I come here.
That was wonderful. Yes, I myself do agree with so many of the sentiments that were shared about why we love to go to the Castro Country Club. I mean, not only is it a safe space for us non-drinkers and a community gathering place for us to meet up at, but let's face it, I don't live in a beautiful Victorian home in the heart of the Castro district. You know, I love hanging out there because of where it's located. And I love walking up the steps and seeing who's there and saying hello to folks. I love going to meetings there. Some of my favorite meetings I get to attend are held at the Castro Country Club. And of course, like others, I like meeting with my sponsor there. And, well, I like those panini sandwiches a little too much, okay? I discovered them one day because, let's face it, I hadn't thought of the Castro Country Club as a place to have a meal, you know? And I was hungry one day and I needed some lunch, okay? So don't judge me, but I went into the Castro Country Club quite famished, and I was gonna wolf down some food. And I thought to myself, God damn it, I'm just gonna have to eat one of those fucking cupcakes they have, or, you know, all the temptations that they like to stick right there on the counter. But needless to say, I saw that panini press and I thought to myself, there's a goddamn panini press here. And I picked one of those sandwiches out of the cooler, and it was something I thought about for a while, okay? And let's just say, like, I have probably had more than my share of the paninis that have been sold there before, you know, we entered this shutdown. I ate a lot of those delicious paninis. So I look forward to starting that trend back up again. Anyways, I digress. I really don't think maybe that was appropriate, but I was being honest. But let's get this show moving. And, you know, next I would like to introduce someone who's going to present an award. It's one of the producers and directors of tonight's gala event, the manager of the Castro Country Club. Let's hear it for Brandon Stanton.
When I first came to the Castro Country Club back in March of 2012, I was thrilled to find that there was a place that I could hang out with other sober folks from morning until night, 365 days a year. My dog Mahalo and I were here just about every single day. It wasn't long before I was volunteering behind the counter making drinks, and sometimes I worked the Friday closing 7 to 11 p.m. shift with someone who I'd come to find out had been volunteering every week for 6 years. That person was Timothy Blaine. Timothy continued to volunteer every Friday for 8 more years. I'd be willing to bet that he's been the longest continuous volunteer in the history of the Castro Country Club. Unfortunately, since we closed due to shelter in place and COVID-19, Timothy has had to give up his weekly shift at the Castro Country Club. We are so appreciative of his dedication to the club, and tonight, I'm honored to be able to give him an award named after one of my first mentors when I came through these doors, Stuart Smith. So tonight, we award Timothy Blaine the Stuart Smith Memorial Award for his 14 years of service to the Castro Country Club.
Hello guys. Well, my experience with the Castro Country Club, I came here 14 years ago. It pains me that I have to leave now, but because of the coronavirus, I just can't, I don't think I'll be able to get involved in anything until I have an actual vaccine. So I've quit basically everything that I was a part of. But I came to the country club because a friend of mine who I went to program with, Terry Beswick, was then a volunteer here. And I was in Baker Places, and he suggested that I come here to volunteer because I really wasn't doing anything. I was on disability. I'm a HIV survivor. I have HIV for 32 years. So I didn't work. I just lived at the house. So I said, okay, I'll check it out. That was 14 years ago. After a year or so, of course, I could have left and done something else, but I was very comfortable here. This was my connection to sober people because I'm not a part of 12-step group. I haven't been that for my whole sobriety, but I still felt like I needed to give back to the community where I came from, and also to still have some kind of relationship to people in recovery. So that's why I stayed. I stayed Friday night for basically the same shift, all through the remodeling and all the things that I went through. I went through cancer here. I went through blood clots here, where I was actually here, and I got blood clots, had to be rushed away. But I went through a lot. I lived my life here for 14 years, and it's been a big part of my sobriety. Sometimes I'm able to encourage young people to come in. I mean, I've certainly been where they've been. So this is how I've stayed connected to the recovery community.
One of my favorite memories at the club here is coming for holidays. Every year I usually make mashed potatoes. I just live on the corner. So I'll make about 20 pounds of mashed potatoes, and they're honestly a big hit. It's a lot of fun. People bring food, and I see a lot of people I know, I see a lot of people I don't know. You know, we just let anybody show up and eat. It feels very community, very much like a community.
I have so many favorite memories of the Castro Country Club, from New Year's Eve parties to stopping by on Thanksgiving to coming to somebody's watch, which is where someone who's getting their first year chip, we all gather to honor and celebrate them at midnight on the day of their anniversary. But I think probably my favorite memory of the Castro Country Club is the first time I showed up and immediately felt at home. Now I had a place that I know I could go at any time and feel comfortable and feel connected.
It's those small little unexpected moments. I remember after Thanksgiving, I spent it with a friend, but maybe like an hour. They had to go someplace, so I was all by myself. And I was feeling alone, you know, I was feeling sad, and I thought, well, let me go by the country club. When I walked in, there weren't too many people here, but there was a little group playing cards, and they welcomed me, they invited me, and we sat and played cards for like 2 hours and just had a blast.
Well, one of my favorite memories of the Castro Country Club has to do entirely with Pink Saturday. Pink Saturday is an event that occurs during Gay Pride. It's on that Saturday, obviously, Pink Saturday. And a lot of times, me and my fellows, we'd be able to hang out on the steps. And the cool thing about hanging on the steps is you have all of these amazingly fun, sexy people passing you. And sometimes what we'd do is we'd create a rating system. And the rating system was really based on how attractive we thought someone was. So, you know, folks would pass by and we could all like rate them. And it's pretty harmless, but it's a lot of fun. And, you know, I don't usually have to do a 10-step after, so it's a good thing.
My favorite memory of the Castro Country Club is the third time that I turned 1 year clean and sober. I enjoyed turning one so much the first time that I did it 3 more times. And the third time was here at the Castro Country Club. And I shared it with my friend James T. We were both turning 1. We had a big celebration here. It was only a few months after I'd moved back to San Francisco. I was already really connected to all the new faces as well as all the old familiar faces that I knew before, and it was amazing. It was a magical night that I'll never forget.
My favorite memory of the Castro Country Club was my 1 year anniversary. I got to share such a big milestone, which was extremely pivotal in my recovery, with not just my newfound friends that had really been my support network, but also with my mom and my stepdad, which flew in from Canada. And so I think having those two worlds collide was a really special moment for me.
I think one of the things that gives me the warmest feeling is sitting on the front steps with Dan Cusick, one of the early managers of the Castro Country Club, and having somebody come up the steps that goes, I need to talk to somebody. And they would sit there and talk to us, and we wouldn't preach, but we would find out what was going on with them. And then to later see that person come into the rooms of recovery and blossom, I can't tell you how many times that's happened. Seeing somebody get it, that makes me feel so good. It's just, you see the light come on. It's a life that's been saved. It's what this place is about.
My favorite memory of the Castro Country Club was 3 years ago at the San Francisco AIDS Walk. I got to introduce my mom to a lot of my friends and family that I have here at the Castro Country Club. That was really special to me because it was her last AIDS Walk before she passed away, so it just has a lot of meaning for me, and it was a really special day.
One of my favorite memories of the Castro Country Club is when I returned back to the rooms 14 months ago, where I surrendered fully to commit to my recovery. And this was a safe place and I felt like I belonged.
My favorite memory is coming here for New Year's Eve and playing games with multiple people in the program, staying here till midnight, and then wrapping everything up at 12:10 because we all need to get out, and just having a great time spending another holiday sober with people that I adore.
I think my favorite memory is being a volunteer barista here. I used to do that early mornings on Sundays. I did it for at least a couple of years, I believe. And it coincided with a large men's meeting, the stag meeting, on Sunday mornings. And to see the variety of men there in different stages and different areas of their own sobriety, whether they had a few days or multiple years, it was wonderful. I'd say being of service here was probably my fondest memory.
Well, my favorite memory of the Castro Country Club is playing cards in the back room before the renovation. We would sit there all day, and a couple of people really didn't like each other, but they would play cards with each other all day long. And it was hours of entertainment, and the club was very supportive in allowing us to sit there all day long and play.
Wasn't that wonderful? Yeah, I have a lot of memories as well, and I was asked to share about a favorite memory, and I am having trouble choosing just one because, you know, this is a space where I have a lot of fond memories. I love the Castro Country Club for a number of reasons. A lot of them just have to do with this sort of, you know, boring, mundane, you know, I need a meeting kind of, you know, reason, or I need a place to hang out and kill time because I'm in the neighborhood and, you know, I don't feel comfortable going to a bar and I want to maybe run into some friends and, you know, just even walking up those stairs is so wonderful. I usually get to talk to, you know, acquaintances or close friends or people I haven't seen in a while, just, you know, just by showing up. I have memories of fantastic drag shows happening there. I have really specific memories of my dear friend, the late, great Cookie Dough, hosting and putting on shows in that front room. And to think that this room is where I've also attended some of my favorite AA meetings, that it can be transformed to become a fabulous cabaret where, you know, Cookie Dough and Frida K-Hole and, you know, so many people that I really love. Labeline, hello. You know, funny, incredible, sober queens. You know, one of my absolute favorites is Many Happy Returns, of course. Just so many people, so many memories have taken place there. The fact that that can all happen in that one little space, I mean, that's magical. That room, you know, that room is magic for me. Now, as far as a specific memory, one that holds a lot of meaning is actually more recent. You know, a couple years ago, I was actually struggling and decided, you know, like, that I needed some outside help. So I got a therapist and I was, you know, going to a lot of meetings and, you know, just really not in a good place. And I shared really honestly about it at a meeting. And someone who I'd been friends with for many years reached out to me after the meeting and extended the hand of like conversation. And, you know, we started talking and I realized that, you know, I'd been sponsorless for far too long. And so, you know, I got to ask this person if he would be my sponsor. And he said yes, and we've been working together. And again, you know, it's a little thing, but for me, that happened at the Castro Country Club. I mean, and it's been, you know, life-changing, those things, those actions you can take. So, you know, just another one of many, many reasons I love that space. Now, it's my extreme pleasure to get to introduce the many volunteers and committee members who sit on the Castro Country Club board. Let's hear it for them. They are up next.
Hello, and welcome to Resilience from the Castro Country Club Advisory Board. We're coming to you from our September board meeting, and we wanted to thank you very much for taking the time to support us tonight. It's a very important event for us this year, more so than most years. The Castro Country Club is run on a day-to-day basis by our executive director, Billy Lemon, and our Castro Country Club manager, Brandon Stanton. The Castro Country Club board meets once a month, and we have committees that meet also once a month. and we help support the executive director and the manager, and we also provide strategy and oversight. Our committees are fund development, communications, governance, finance, and personnel. If you have an interest in board service or committee service, please reach out to one of us. We would love to discuss this with you. I want to take just a moment to introduce our board. Top left, we have Scott Butcher, we have JD Leonard, we have Patrick B. Smith, we have Brandon Stanton, our manager, we have Mike Shaw, we have Stephen Scarborough, we have Lindsay Tucker, we have Calorie Blue, our co-chair, we have J. Mark Jenkins, our treasurer, we have Franz Lau, we have Billy Lemon, our executive director, Glenn Durham, Mike Shriver, Ben Houston, and Carlos Perea. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. So we wanted to just say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Castro Country Club has helped me be resilient by giving me a place of community. When I first got sober this time, I was in rehab and I wasn't working and I had some free time. And one of the things they allowed me to do was come here and volunteer at the club. I actually ended up becoming the trainer here, and so I actually ended up training Billy. I trained Brandon. I trained Lewis. So I got to be good friends with those people and many others. Actually, it's kind of funny. If you want to go to my Facebook, I have a video of me showing Brandon how to clean the bathroom because he didn't know how to clean the bathroom. It was pretty funny. Go check it out.
I think the Castro Country Club has helped me be resilient because, you know, when I think about recovery and I think about the phrase keep coming back, and one of my favorite phrases that reminds me of resilience is to begin again. In the same way that every morning is a new day, every time I come to the Castro Country Club and I step into a meeting, it is a way for me to begin again. And so I always know, no matter how down in the dumps I might be feeling, I can come to the country club, I can grab some coffee or in my case tea, go to a meeting, connect with some fellows, and begin again.
I'm trans, and I forever didn't feel comfortable in my skin, right? I transitioned in the 80s, so I could literally be killed, or I might not get that job, or I might not get that apartment. That's what led me to substance abuse, and so that's why I link the word resilience to my sobriety, because from that I'm able to, be my authentic self. And this place, the Castro Country Club, is a safe place, and it's so important. It's like a center part of my sobriety. So it all kind of links together, right? There's who knows what parts that I do. I meditate, I sponsor people, I have a sponsor. Like, which parts of those keep me resilient? I don't know, but I'm not a gambler, so I'm not gonna F with it. So I just keep doing all the things that I do, and that gives me that power, and I think that's what resilience is.
What's super important to me, and I think the misconception or the thing that a lot of folks, especially me in the beginning, struggle with is doing nothing. It is very radical to do nothing. We get sober and all of a sudden we want to clean up all the messes that we made. But sometimes you have to let time be the healer. And this is a safe space to do that. It takes time to heal. And so the Country Club was a place where I could come and I could feel safe with other like-minded individuals and just kind of be, and learn how to be, learn how to reclaim the parts of me that I kind of let go in the darkness.
One of the ways the Castro Country Club has helped me be resilient is through their workforce development program. The idea of returning to work was frightening to me. I was on disability for 18 years, and there came a time when I decided I wanted more out of my life. But my biggest obstacle was not believing in myself. And the workforce development program connected me to training through PRC, and even better than the training, gave me confidence in myself and the willingness to step into the uncomfortable idea of going back to work. And yeah, super grateful.
The Castro Country Club has helped me be resilient it's given me a safe space. You know, there's definitely been a lot of times in my recovery where I have felt alone or depressed or down, and a lot of times I really had nowhere else to go. And so I knew that no matter what day it was, no matter what time it was, I could come to the club and there would be people there to embrace me, to talk to me, to comfort me, and I could rely on it.
Drug addicts and alcoholics are a unique breed. We can be really resilient because we know what it's like to live in the depths, and we're capable of rising again. We are resilient. We're delicate, yet we're hard-shelled. Now you got me. It is a safe space. It's the community.
Community is everything. I think being in recovery, you certainly, I mean, I guess there are people that can stay sober alone, but I wasn't one of them. So having a community of like-minded individuals that were all striving towards the same goal was super beneficial in my own journey in recovery.
Throughout my entire childhood, I've always been a happy kid. And I believe resilience has been installed right when I came out of my mother's womb. And for me to bring that to the Castro Country Club, it allows me to inspire those who need inspiring, those who feel neglected or feel self-doubt or who are self-sabotaging, and just to be behind the counter and to showcase how resilient an addict can be is life-changing to those people.
3 months into recovery and coming to the Castro Country Club, I did the things that I was told opposite of doing, which is like, don't go back to work, don't go to school, don't make any major changes, but I did all those things. And I was able to do those things sober. And I was able to go to work sober and go to school sober and actually pay attention and be a tax-paying citizen. And my journey of school, I started out with community college, and like 5 years ago, and I was doing it high and drunk, and to be able to do that sober and then apply for my dream school and actually get into my dream school, it's been amazing. I had a lot of fear around moving to LA for school, UCLA, but resilience has taught me that I need to bounce back and move forward, and that's what I'm doing now.
So I moved to San Francisco around 5.5 years ago from New York. I found the country club. I found all the meetings that they had 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And this is the first place that I came for my first meeting. And here I found fellowship, I found community, I found a sponsor, I found any type of meeting that I wanted to. And you know, it enforced my resiliency in that way and reinforced my sobriety and program in just existing and offering the services and meetings that it does here.
The way the Castro Country Club has helped me become resilient is I had some unfortunate circumstances, turn of the century, I can't believe I can say that, the country club was really there for me. They allowed me to volunteer when I could, and when I couldn't, they were very understanding and supportive. And for that, I'm deeply indebted to the club.
That was wonderful and certainly inspiring. I think we as a community know a thing or two about resilience. And I know for me, one of the things that this whole year has really brought to light was that I am part of two communities that immediately proved how resilient they really are. When I think back to, shutting down and sheltering in place and what that meant to me as a sober person and as a drag performer, it was incredible to see that I was part of two communities that honestly were the fastest to jump into action and to make sure that things were going to be okay. The same weekend that everything shut down, drag queens who had shows planned, in-person shows, just moved those shows to the internet. And that's also when I discovered online AA meetings. And so that to me is the definition of resilience. Figuring it out, of course, I'm like many, I don't necessarily prefer doing things on the internet to in person. However, the fact that we have this tool and we as sober people were able to use it, has been an incredible gift. And the sober people and drag performers, I feel like really were the first, let's face it, to just jump in and say, well, life must go on and we need to be connected to our communities. So for me, you know, the Castro Country Club really fits into this model as far as resilience goes. And when we are on the other side of this thing, you know, it's going to be a model again, because, you know, the Castro Country Club isn't, you know, going to disappear. Clearly, you know, too many people love it and too many people are caring for it to let that happen. So with that, I would like to introduce two of the fantastic Castro Country Club Advisory Board committee members, Mike and Patrick.
Thank you, Peaches. I'm Patrick B. Smith, and I am a board member here at CCC, and I've been a board member for 8 years.
Hi, I'm Mike Shaw, and I am a recent addition to the Castro Country Club Advisory Board, and I'm so happy and excited today to be here to ask for your help. This is the time in the program when we need to reach out to you and ask every one of you to participate. Take out that phone, and I know you have it right next to you, and this is the chance to open up your messages and type in SOBER, S-O-B-E-R, to 41444. This is the time in the program when we ask you to text to donate. And if you did it last year, you'll notice that it will pop right up. And if not, we need your donations today. No donation is too small and no donation is too large. And for the cost of a caramel macchiato, you can change somebody's life. I really need you all to dig deep and find out what the Country Club has done for you. Because as you know, every single day we are saving lives. Through our staff and our board of directors, we've been able to keep the club open during the pandemic. It has not been easy, but with your help, we continue to thrive and we continue to save lives. So remember, take out your phone, text SOBER, S-O-B-E-R, to 41444. Now, if you were going to buy a ticket to the event, this is the time to donate that amount. If you were going to sponsor a table, this is the time to take out your phone and donate that amount. Again, no donation is too small, but again, no donation is too large, and it's up to you to make sure that we keep doing the incredible work that the Castro Country Club has been known for decades. We're a pillar of the community, you're a pillar of the community, and you're here helping us today, and we cannot begin to thank you enough.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, while you texting to donate, please keep continuing. But while you texting to donate, for your entertainment, Justin Vivian Bond. Oh.
Hello, this is Justin Vivian Bond, and I am here with Nathan Carrera. We're so thrilled to be coming to you in the Castro Country Club from the Hudson Valley on the full moon, on the harvest moon. So we're gonna do a song for you. Oh. We've got lots of plastic wrappers around here. We're gonna do a song for you that is by David Crosby, and it's called I Almost Cut My Hair. Oops, sorry. Oh. I've never done this song sitting down. I'm sitting on a fire heater. Almost cut my hair. It happened just the other day. It's getting kinda long. Could have said it was in my way, but I didn't, and I wonder why. I'm gonna let my freak flag fly, 'cause I feel like I owe it to someone. I guess I had the flu for Christmas, 'cause I'm not feeling up to par. It just increases my paranoia, like looking in a mirror and seeing a police car. But I'm not given an inch to fear, 'cause I made it through this year, and I feel like I owe it to someone. When I get myself together, I'm gonna take in some of that sunny southern weather, sneak inside and have a laugh, separate the wheat from the chaff, 'cause I feel like I owe it to someone. I feel like I owe it. I feel like I owe it. I feel like I owe it to someone. I feel like I owe it to someone. I wish you the best. Resilience is the theme for the night. Hopefully we'll get through this year, and 2020 will be when we rise like the phoenix from the flames. Goddess bless. Now, I'm gonna come over here and push this button and turn this thing off. Ah!
Wow, thank you, Justin Vivian Bond. That was fantastic. I love you, and what a wonderful treat. So good to see you here tonight. Well, distinguished guests, that brings us to the end of our evening, almost. I want to remind you to continue sending in those text donations. And of course, another reminder that the online auction is up until 9 p.m. So go and make those bids while you still can. Now, before we close things out, I get to introduce one last special moment. So without further ado, distinguished guests, this is the new video by the incredible Z Machine, Honeydew. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Mwah!
Please don't say hello to me. Don't ask me how I've been when I'm crying out in public, terrified of making friends, drowned in shallow conversations. Won't remember where you're from. Work too hard with no vacations to pretend I'm having fun. 'Cause wow, it feels like my body's been taken over. For the first time, not thinking about running away. I could swear there's an angel up on my shoulder, and I'm getting kinda used to it. You could hate me like I'm honeydew, and I wouldn't give a damn about it.
again. We are back to talk to you for a moment about our executive director, Billy Lemon, and our manager, Brandon Stanton. In March, when everyone was told to go home, Billy and Brandon stepped up in a way that was unbelievable. And the Castro Country Club literally would not continue to exist if it weren't for them and what they did. So we want to take a moment to say thank you, Billy, and thank you, Brandon.
Billy and Brandon, you guys did such an amazing job on the remodel, and our club is sparkling and beautiful. And you've also kept it safe for the public and for our patrons to come back. I'm so proud of both of you. We all are. I love you and thank you.
I'm G. Mark Jenkins, board treasurer, and in my day job, I have to worry about all the people at my organization spending money and making it through this very difficult time. But I don't have to worry about the folks at the country club, because Billy's got a stellar head for numbers, and he counts not only anniversaries and celebrations, but the metrics that make this club happen. And with Brandon at his side and the finance committee and the board to support us, we're navigating just fine. So much appreciation for all of the staff and volunteers at the club.
We love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.